Hello, everybody. Welcome to a tropical update here, and this is the wide view of the Atlantic here off of GOES 16. On the bottom right there of your screen, you see that tropical wave gonna come off of Africa soon here on the edges of GOES 16 coverage. And again, I want to stress the edges of GOES 16 coverage here. So the cloud tops are going to be exaggerated some, and the size of this actual wave may be inflated a little bit because it's on the edges of GOES 16's coverage. The better satellite to use would be Meteosat if you're looking at tropical waves coming off of the African coastline there. And then to the right of that one, you got Invest 98L still continuing to organize here gradually over time. And then Invest 97L, which hasn't changed much since pretty much the past 2-3 days here, really. Right in the bottom, pretty much in the bottom middle of your screen, and then of course the big storm we see on the middle left of your screen there. What used to be Category 4 Hurricane Genevieve, now down to Category 3 Hurricane Genevieve now. Still a formidable storm to take seriously here, and poses a threat to the Baja California coastline here, and I'll talk more in detail about that, of course, but you can see how that's been. And here's a wide view of the Eastern Pacific while I'm at it here, and you can see Genevieve a lot better here in this frame, in this imagery, how it looked really, really good this morning, and then the cloud tops just gradually got warmer and warmer. Hence why the National Hurricane Center have this as a Category 3 hurricane compared to a Category 4 hurricane earlier this morning into the early afternoon hours of today. So that's Genevieve. Here's the invest here. This is 97L that you're seeing right here. This is using Cyclonic Wix' website. Alex Borham, he makes a really good satellite imagery page here, and you can see 97L not really looking too good. It's pretty much the same. It's been looking the same since for like the past 2-3 days here, really, for the most part. However, that being said, even though the storm looks pretty bad for the most part right now to the untrained eye, models think, and the National Hurricane Center think that Invest 97L has potential to develop into at least a tropical depression strength storm once it enters the middle to western part of the Caribbean here, when the shear starts to let up and the storm starts to slow down a little bit compared to how fast it's moving right now, because I could see it's booking it to the west here on visible. On visible and on IR. This is IR imagery, of course, but and still something to watch here regardless of how bad it looks right now. Of course, storms have looked like this before and they've blown up in hours or even in a day or two. They've blown up to be monsters. So just because it looks bad right now doesn't mean to completely you need to completely disregard this area of disturbed weather. Keep in mind, this is the closest area to the United States at this point in time in terms of Atlantic development here. So please keep an eye on that storm. And then here's Invest 98L, and you can see it's looking a little bit better than Invest 97L is, because it's wrapped up in this intertropical convergence zone. It has a whole bunch of moisture and everything to deal with here, and it's moving a little bit slower than Invest 97L is. Invest 97L is like booking it to the west here. This one's not moving as fast as this one, so that's why it's organized a little bit more better than Invest 97L is. And you can see convection firing off of where we think the center of circulation is. Of course, National Hurricane Center is scheduling some recon flights into Invest 98L, and they'll find out whether or not if this is the actual center, or the center is farther to the east or farther to the west. They'll of course go into the storm and find that out for themselves, so they could put that into the models. National Hurricane Center could put that into the models and get better, more accurate forecasts later on with time here as the situation progresses. And then here's a look at Hurricane Genevieve here, the biggest storm right now, currently going on worldwide, that is too. Other than that storm that's hitting China right now, this is pretty much the biggest storm in terms of intensity-wise currently going on. Even though it's a Category 3 at this point in time, still a formidable storm here. I can see it moving on to the northwest there, and perhaps maybe trying to take a more northerly jog here with time, which of course will be really bad for the Baja California coastline here, especially Cabo San Lucas. I'm sure they're watching this really closely right now. This storm has had a tendency to go more east than forecast here, so time remains to be seen if it actually does continue to go a little bit more east than forecast, if it finally decides to go west of forecast here, which would be great for Cabo San Lucas, because they won't, of course, get those hurricane force or major hurricane force sustained winds there from the hurricane. But we'll see again over the next few hours here, really, as the storm moves on up over there. And here's the latest forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center of Hurricane Genevieve here, and you can see tropical storm warnings in effect for the southern portions of the Baja California coastline there. And you can see as of the 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Advisory 11 as of August 18th, 2020. The center is located at 19.5 degrees north, 109.0 degrees west. Maximum sustained 1-minute winds are at 120 miles per hour, making this a Category 3 hurricane, and moving to the northwest at 10 miles per hour there. But like I said, the storm has been pretty much most of its life has been kind of leaning more to the east of the track here. So we'll see if it finally decides to go more northwest, like it's forecast to. If it decides to continue kind of going just a little bit east of forecast here we'll find out, of course. But regardless, Baja California needs to be watching the storm carefully. If you have any friends over there, make sure they're aware of this storm. Just make sure they're aware of it and they know it's going to be a threat to them. They, of course, are forecast to get tropical storm force winds. That's why there's, of course, tropical storm warnings in effect for the southern Baja California coastline there, and expected to get some storm surge and also some flooding rains as well from Hurricane Genevieve here. And here's actually the key messages here from the National Hurricane Center. You can stop the video right now and read these key messages right now. I'm not going to read the key messages, but you can stop the video right now and read them right now, so you can get a basic summary of what's expected to be happening if we live on the Baja California coastline there. And taking a look at the models here for a 97L. Going back to 97L, you can see models have a wide range of possibilities here as of this latest runs. They take it. Some of them take it as far east as Florida. Some of them take it as far west as northern Mexico there. So it's really uncertain where exactly the storm is going to make landfall here, and it's pretty much almost a given certainty it will make landfall somewhere. Where it makes landfall and at what intensity it does so is really uncertain. That's the crucial parts that we need to find answers to. But we'll be able to find those out once the storm goes farther, continues to go farther west and starts to slow down a little bit as it approaches the Gulf of Mexico coastline here. And as you can see, most of them take it either above or over the Yucatan there, and after that, it gets over into pretty much the open bathwaters of the Gulf of Mexico here, and by that point, wind shear is forecast to be on a decrease, or very little if there is any still there remaining. So that's why some of these models here are taking us down to the 980s and millibars here. So all of you along the Gulf coasts, all of you guys along the Gulf Coast need to be taking 97L seriously, regardless of development here. And again, I want to stress this to you: the forecast, the landfall area is still really uncertain. This is about 5 days out in time. So the landfall area is really uncertain where it's exactly what the general region is it's going to make landfall at. Also, the intensity forecast is really uncertain at this point in time. So take these 980 millibar runs here that you're seeing with these ensembles here with a grain of salt at this point in time. This could easily just be a tropical wave when it gets here, but it could also just as easily be a strong tropical storm, maybe even a hurricane here into the Gulf of Mexico. So please keep an eye out on this storm and also on 98L. You can see the models are a little bit more bullish than they are with 97L here. Probably due to the fact that 98L has been vigorous for most of its life here, and the models are probably picking up on that a little bit here. Disregard that one outlier there. But for the most part, the models are having it go somewhere either over or just barely not making a landfall over Florida by the looks of it here. Pretty much taking a kind of for about the first 120 hours or so, taking a more northerly type of Georgia's 1998 track here per se in terms of an analog. I see it. Of course, not in terms of intensity at this point in time, but in terms of track, I think a good analog will probably be Hurricane Georgia's in 1998. Would be a good analog for a 98L. And of course, like I said, with 97L, the forecast track could easily change. This over 5 days out in time here. So the track could shift more east, it could shift more west here, or it could still stay in the same position it is right now. I'll of course keep you updated if that changes or not. Here's what the National Hurricane Center say for both of these systems here. You can see this is for 97L. I'm not going to read the entire thing there, but you can see formation chance for the next 48 hours into at least a tropical depression strength storm or higher is at a 40% chance, medium percent chance. And then formation chance for the next 5 days is at a high 80% chance of forming into at least a tropical depression strength storm or higher as it enters the Western Caribbean there with time. And then here's 98L as well. I'm not going to read the entire discussion there. You can see formation chance of the next 48 hours and 5 days is a high, 90% chance of forming into at least a tropical depressive strength storm or higher here with time. And pretty much the main takeaway is this: is that the National Hurricane Center give this a 10% chance of not forming into a tropical depressive strength storm or higher. And then with Invest 98L, they have it at a 20% chance, pretty much of if when they do the math, they have it at a pretty much 20% chance of not forming into a tropical depression strength storm or higher here over the next 5 days. So there's something to note there, and there's of course the respective forecast discussions there. And I believe that's about it for this update here. However, ways to get official updates. I want to stress this too as well. Ways to get official updates from your local government agencies and also from the respective official government agency for the space in the North Atlantic we're talking about here. Please use nationalhurricanecenter.noaa.gov or just type nhc.noaa.gov. Or just type NHC, and again, it'll probably be the first result on whatever search browser or search engine you're using. And of course, you'll know that you're on a correct site when you see this good information popping up in front of you. And you know you're on a correct site when you see all this information right in front of you. That's when you know you're on a correct site. Same with the National Weather Service here. You know you're on a correct site when you see all this information readily available to you. And this is for localized forecasts. So like I said, you could go to Florida here, South Florida, click there for your local forecast office in Miami, and say you don't live in Miami, but you live in West Palm Beach. You could click West Palm Beach and get the latest forecast there, the 5-day graphical forecast, and then 7-day detailed forecast below that as well. And of course, you could use this map also to pinpoint your exact location, as well as put in your city name or your zip code up there as well for localized weather info there. In terms of satellite imagery, I use Tropical Tidbits. However, I've been leaning more on cyclonic wicks from Alex Borham, because he includes Himawari 8 data when Libby Cowan does not, unfortunately, at this point in time. So I like using some cyclonic wicks, and again, you see the webpage there, cyclonicwicks.com, and it gives you all this information here. And also, I forgot to mention Invest 90C right now, also currently going on, and just briefly touch on that. And you can see formation chance of the next 5 days is low, 10% chance, the formation chance of the next 48 hours is near 0%. And then there's also another area of interest, and the East Pacific that has a 30% chance of formation to the next 5 days and near 0% for the next 48 hours. So I believe that's about it for this tropical update. Hope everybody stays safe. Hope everybody listens to official information given to you and provided to you by the National Hurricane Center and by the National Weather Service as Invests 97L and 98L come closer to the United States here with time. Just keep a really close eye on it. And again, I want to stress to you forecast intensities and landfall forecasts are going to be really uncertain until these storms get a little bit closer in the forecast time frame here. So don't look at one simple model run, say 5 days out, that has maybe a Category 4 off the Florida coast and think it's gospel. Don't do that. That's the completely wrong thing to do. Please look at official information and don't look at really long-range forecast models to get your accurate data as well. Don't do that. So hope everybody has a great day and night. You guys are. Stay safe, of course. Until then, see you guys in the next video. Stay safe. Peace.